There's a rate table on the left-hand side, and this actually has a range name. The cells I'm highlighting here from A2 to B8 have the collective name rate table. And you can quickly see what's going on here or is about to go on because something's not working just yet. Each of these ratings here, you'll see their appropriate positioning in the table there. We try and translate them into a numerical score. So maybe this is the time-honored approach we've used for ratings. We're changing them into a numerical score. And you can see that the 99 here for fair isn't accurate. So what's going on here in cell F2? This is using the VLOOKUP function, and it is the function to be using here. We do want to look up information from the left column of that rate table over in column A, and we're trying to find the word fair. But unlike numerical situations, when you're using text, or if you are using numbers in a non-computational way, say ID numbers, when you're looking up information, you need a different approach here if you're trying to find an exact match. Now, unlike a numerical lookup, many times during which we need to find an approximate location, we need to find the word fair over here exactly, and then go get the value 71. Based on what we're seeing here, this seems to be in place. We do want to take that information, the word fair, look it up in the left column of the table, and when we find it, we do want to go into the second column to get the answer. But 99 is not the answer, that's the answer you just saw there. For exact matches, we need a fourth argument here. So following the column index number, that's what's there now, a comma. And what we next put in certainly doesn't flow out of any innate logic. It's either the number 0 or the word false, whatever you prefer. I use 0 because it's less typing, but this is what we do for an exact match. What we're doing with VLOOKUP here is to say now, when we find this information, the word fair exactly, we go into the second column and get the answer there. And when we do, as is here, we get the appropriate score, it's a 71, then we'd copy this down the column to take care of the others as well. Now, not all exact matches, as I said, involve text, but I think probably 90% of them do. The other kind of situation might be if these are employee ID numbers, and maybe they truly are numbers, or social security numbers. And need I say that with social security numbers, we're not looking for an approximate match. You need to have an exact match with certain kinds of numerical lookups. But anything that's computationally based, that's an approximate match. So let's get back to this idea of these and what are the limitations. First of all, the order here is not in ascending order, not could be, but imagine how ridiculous this table would look if we put it in alphabetical order. Excellent would be at the top, but we'd have very good at the bottom, and of course the order of the list would be crazy and the numbers would be all over the place, and so we wouldn't even consider that here. So the order is irrelevant. Well, irrelevant in the sense that it can be in any order alphabetically, but it's a coherent logical order. And of course, these are in order descending by the scores. When you're doing an exact match, the order of the information in the left-hand column is a logical order, not an alphabetic order or a numerical order. And the fourth argument, the 0 or the word false, which by the way is not in quotes either, will mean we're trying to find this exactly. So what happens here when we have information here that doesn't match? Now here's something that's a little insidious, and you might run into this at different times. I'm going to put a trailing space here. NA, that's POOR space. And over here, what do we have? Well, we're trying to find that information in the table, and over in the table, it's POOR. That's it, not a match. If you need to work around this, I could throw in a quick solution here. You can look at not just E6, but use the trimmed version of this. This means trim off trailing, leading, and multiple consecutive interspaces, reduce those to 1. And in this case here, we're looking for the trimmed version of this. Now, in other situations, if you just happen to have a word that isn't there at all, for example, Kit Carson's performance here, then that was just so-so. Well, that's not in the list, and of course, this is not found. So I think you can see that there's a distinct set of situations where an exact match is exactly what we want. It's usually text and works easily and quickly. But nobody would call this intuitive. You just have to have that fourth argument, either 0 or false, to signify that this is an exact match.